Yeah, let's start it up and run it and see how well that works. Better take that off there before I forget it and it runs through the combine. Figured while I'm out here and while I still remember, I better open up all the traps on the grain cart because we forgot to do that one year with it and that was really gross. All of the corn started to sprout and smelled terrible, looked terrible, and it was disgusting trying to dig all of it out with a screwdriver. So since I remembered, better do it now. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to remember to make sure to run the auger when I first start the tractor up and try and make sure everything gets out of it. But yeah, made sure to get that done anyway. So when I first started, all the gathered chain spots were plugged full of mud. There's still quite a bit of husk, like right here where the folding point is. It's still full, but, well, I shouldn't say full, but there's plenty husks in it, so I'll probably try and get as many of them as I can out. The snoots are decent, just gotta spend a little more time hand picking on it. The air just kind of makes them flap around, but yeah, I got the combine running right now just because I'm going to run the auger a little more, try and get as much of the corn out of there as I can, just so then the mice don't live in there over winter. But then something like this that just wouldn't fly out with the air, it'll help try and move it around, try and get it kicked out of there anyway. Then there's a bunch of stuff down here in the rollers, so when I turn it on, it'll shoot it down and out instead of me trying to blow it out and going up into the auger and sending more stuff through the combine. Alright, combine's warmed up now. Let's give it a try. Can't really see too much, but I'm gonna turn it on. Well, I guess not. Go to turn on the separator, tells me not to, so I'm guessing the rear ladder has to be up. Well, I'll run and do that quick now. Alright, got the rear ladder up and unfolded the hopper, so let's try it again. There we go. Hopper's running. They're blowing out a lot of dust. That run for probably about a minute. Then I'll shut it off and see if it really did all that much or not. So, alrighty. I let that run for about 5 minutes, so we'll have to see how it looks. I didn't get much of that at all, which I really wanted to. Somehow that didn't even come out. Well, I suppose I'll spend another another good day, just blowing it off yet. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing that it didn't do as much as I thought it would, but keep working at it, I guess. Well, it's been about an hour and a half. I cleaned out the snoot as best as I could again. Spent a little more time on the back side of it over here. Really, primarily, I was just trying to get all this stuff out up here. Just gonna leave the combine feeder house for whenever I decide to actually do the combine, which will probably be still yet this week. But no, I think it looks a lot better now. These are all closed so that when trash up there is getting kicked around, it's less likely to go underneath. So yeah, I'm gonna start it up, run the head and everything again, but with how strong the northwest wind is coming through, I think I'm gonna bring it out on the driveway and try and let just the wind try and blow some of the stalks off of it and everything. See if that works or not. I don't know if it will, but I'm gonna give it a try. It's working a little bit, not as much as I was hoping for, but I think the wind switched more to the north now, so. Some of it blew out, some of it didn't, so let's try and run it again. Forgot to open up the drain tank. Boy, if that thing could make any more noises, I think it would. Yeah, you can't. That window back there gets so dusty. Can't see nothing through it after about the first 5 hours anyway. I suppose I'm going to let it sit and just run for another 5 minutes or so and see how much of it I can get blown out. So I know when I pick up the or when I fold the head, the ends will clean themselves out basically just from the gravity, but I like to get all the middle auger cleaned out, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. This head is a lot bigger than the gearing off we had before this, where you're able to kind of get in there with the broom. This one it would be really challenging. You'd have to stand up on the snoots, and I can already see how many rolled ankles I would have if I tried to do that. Seems like every time that I fold this head up, it gets slower and slower each time. I'm sure it doesn't, it's just always been slow, but it sure does feel like it. Just watching where that auger is, there is quite a bit of stuff that's fallen out of both sides. Of course, when I picked the camera up, there isn't. Must have all came out already. But that at least got some of it out. There's not as much for the mice to chew on over the winter anyway. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it good. And put it away tomorrow when it's not so windy and I don't lose all the heat that I have in the shed. So, then gotta kind of maneuver around goofily in the shed, and I'd it's nice having that second person there just so they can watch the auger on the back of the combine and make sure I don't rip that off in somehow, some way.
We're going to put the corn head away for the winter, put that over here, but we got to take the stock stompers off. Alright, before we set this down, we got to take these stock stompers off, which I can't do with one hand apparently. Just spent a half hour this morning sweeping this floor, and it looks like I've got more work to do. Oh well. We're gonna bring the combine back out, get that thing all blown off. It is so dirty and caked with corn and everything, so get that taken care of and move on to the next project. Nice little pile of debris here. Try to get as much of this stuff out of here, otherwise the mice really like to hang around thick. So there's grain. There's really not much you can do to get this much cleaner right now, but there's grain all over. So getting the big stuff.
Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, like, subscribe. If you have something you need us to hear, leave a comment. Other than that, we'll talk to you guys later.